Well, turning now to the first presidential debate of the 2024 election. It's going to be held tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. And since the 1960s, presidential debates have become a staple during election season.
Yeah, but some historians feel they have lost their relevance to voters in more recent years. News Channel 20's Kyra Willis spoke to local political experts about debate relevancy, and she joins us now in the studio with more.
Yeah, Don and Stacey, local political experts I spoke to say presidential debates play a key role for people who may be on the fence about who they're voting for, saying it gives voters the chance to see how a candidate interacts with the opposing side and how they handle pressure.
It is certainly highly anticipated. Whether or not it's going to have a huge impact really depends on what the performances of the two candidates are.
Kent Redfield is a political science professor with the University of Illinois Springfield. He says debates are ways for people to get reassurance on their candidate choice or influence a swing voter.
Lots of people have their minds made up, and they're just looking for something that will reinforce where they're at.
The Sangamon County Democratic Chairman Bill Houlihan says 80 million people are predicted to tune in to tonight's debate, saying they are usually held in September, making this the earliest ever held.
It is the easiest way for you to get information to voters is through the debate process, because you can hit people immediately and they get to see the candidates side by side.
The Sangamon County Republican Chairwoman Diane Barghouti Hardwick agrees with both Houlihan and Redfield, saying debates give viewers see how candidates react to tough questions.
Debates will continue to be relevant because it's a chance to see how the candidates can answer questions about what their performance has been and what their plans are for the future, as well as it gives a glimpse of how they can respond maybe under pressure.
Now, the next presidential debate will be held on September 10th, and it will be hosted by ABC.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump face to face for the first time since October 2020.
National correspondent Matt Galka has more from Atlanta.
The highly anticipated rematch had never happened before, a current president locking up with a former one on the debate stage. Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump tried to make the case that their records make them worthy of another term. There were plenty of issues to talk about. The candidates were hit with a question about inflation to start.
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%.
He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing.
Then it was abortion, with Donald Trump taking credit for the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe versus Wade.
The Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. Every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out.
The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule.
The two also trading jabs over the border crisis and the Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Hamas wars. There was no live studio audience to play off of, and the mics were muted, so the opponents couldn't talk over each other. Donald Trump ended up coming off a little bit more measured, maybe more so than we'd see at a Trump rally. It remains to be seen if that will resonate with voters heading into November. Reporting in Atlanta, I'm Matt Gelka.
Now, the second presidential debate scheduled to air on ABC on September 10th.
Republican Mary Miller taking to X during the debate, saying, quote, "We need a president with the strength and energy to lead the free world. The American people are seeing that Joe Biden is not capable of doing the job. Our adversaries are watching," end quote. Also, Governor Pritzker taking to X, saying, quote, "The end of Roe has led to cruel abortion bans across our country, and Donald Trump is bragging about it. If given a second term, he will take it even further," end quote.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.